All right, let's start out this video. And this is some handmade bread. You find these little shops all over Saudi Arabia. One of these breads baked in these concrete hearths. They're about 1 SAR a piece, maybe about 30 cents American. But they're just so delicious. I mean, you could just snack on them all the day. You got to be careful. This is what they look like when they come out, and they're hot and delicious. All right, welcome back. Hello from Saudi, and I hope that these videos are helping you out, helping you get your kind of thoughts in line of what you want to do with overseas jobs and overseas contracting. Today we are going to be discussing the getting started in overseas contracting and what you should think about if you're looking at this job as a possibility. What considerations should you have? All right. And I think that you'll get a lot out of this video, and hopefully it's just kind of start getting your mind lined up of where you need to be. And then the other videos that I'm making on this channel will help answer questions more in depth on the different subjects that we're going to cover in this video. Okay? After years of military contracting overseas, and I'm getting ready to retire, I thought I would pass on the information that I learned over years of working abroad to inspire others to reach out, check out the world, see the jobs that are overseas, and learn something about yourself. All right, welcome back. So, what we are going to first think about is, why are you looking at this job? Okay, why are you looking at working overseas? For me, tax benefits, and I thought it was an interesting and exciting way to kind of see the world a little bit. So those were the two big ones for me. But what is the reasoning for you? Just think about it and just take that notepad and that pen and just jot down some answers to yourself to these questions. Why are you looking at this line of work, working overseas contracting? The next thing I would think about is, what do you want to do? What are you looking at? For myself, I was working in IT, and I kind of went through a different contracting jobs. I initially started out working as a firearms instructor, contracting with that because that was the type of work that I did back military and in government work. And so I was a firearms instructor doing contracting in Hawaii for a long time. Great work. And then I got into IT and took several different IT contracts. So I just knew that when I was going to do some Middle East contracts, I knew that I was going to be getting into IT work. Some of the different IT work that's available overseas, and I've done videos on these for you to go back and watch and get more in depth. You have your desktop support, and you have your build out of Ethernet and fiber infrastructure. Okay, those are easy to get into with just a few certifications. Network administrator and server administrator will usually require more advanced certifications, but not necessarily experience, depending upon what positions are open and the bigger company you work for. Larger companies have more contracts and they have junior positions. So you can work with a large company to get started and then transfer over to a smaller company that pays more down the line, a couple years down the line. So those are some of the IT jobs you can look at. There's cybersecurity jobs. There's all sorts of different IT jobs available overseas. Maybe you like working with your hands. You're an auto mechanic, a diesel mechanic. Do you keep up HVAC systems? Are you a licensed electrician, plumber? Are you a carpenter, an engineer of some kind? These types of jobs are available overseas and pay quite well. I have a friend that went diesel mechanic, and he's doing very well. Do you have your commercial driver's license? You want to do trucking overseas? That's another one that you can look at. Some of these jobs are a little more dangerous than others. Some pay better than others, but basically with experience, you're going to be getting pretty good pay. So if you start out with a junior position, and after 1 year, you're going to be making pretty good pay overseas. Cell tower work, that sort of thing. There's a lot of infrastructure getting built out overseas. So cell tower certifications and that type of experience, that works as well. So think about, what are you looking at? Do you have a military background in doing patrol and combat? Maybe you want to get into security work, carrying a firearm of some kind. Are you a fire department officer somewhere? All of the military bases in the Middle East, they have contractors working as fire department for those bases. Maybe you want to go try something different for a year or 2 years, make some good money overseas, bring your fire department skills, and then go back to work for your fire department after that. Just rotating through for a couple of years in the Middle East. So think about what it is that you would like to do. Okay. All right. The next thing that I want you to think about is, where do you want to work at? Okay. Do you want to work in the Middle East? There's a danger level there, but there's also a higher pay because of that. There's a lot of jobs in Europe, Eastern Europe. There's jobs throughout Asia, Japan especially. You will find some jobs that are overseas, outside of, you just say outside of the country, in Latin America, Panama Canal area being one. These are some of the thoughts. Where do you want to work? There's very isolated islands in the Pacific that do various work. There's good contract jobs there. And again, if you want to be around a more modern society where you have all the enjoyments of a fully built up nation, you're not just in a small isolated country, you might look at Europe as being a good destination. For myself, I found the Middle East to be the best. I was going there for the pay to get good work, and it's an area that I knew that I probably wouldn't be able to get to any other way. Some of the countries that I've been in and worked in, you can't go to for any other reason. So it's the only way you can the only way you can visit those countries are to go work there and to go through this process. So think about where you want to work. Okay. The next thing to think about is, how are you going to get that job? Okay. How is going to be, what are your backgrounds? Let's talk about backgrounds. Do you have military and civilian experience in that job, in training? Yes or no? Do you have certifications in that job? Military certifications while you were in, or civilian certifications? And I've done videos on these too. So if you're wondering what certifications to get, there's videos on the channel where you can watch, and I go through the different certifications and requirements to have for different jobs. Do you have experience? You don't always have to have experience. You can take a junior position and you can learn. A lot of larger military bases, they need people. And so if you go there and you don't have a lot of experience in a job, but you're certified and you're able to work in country, they'll train you because they need you there. And then after 1 year, you're golden. Now you are experienced and you can command more pay. So those are things to think about. Do you have backgrounds in that job? Do you have certifications in that job? How much experience do you have in that job? That will dictate how you're going to get that job. All right. And then the last you have to think about is the requirements that you're going to have to pass to get that job. So again, you've got your backgrounds and your certifications, of course, your experience, but you're also going to have to be able to pass a secret clearance to go work in these locations. Can you pass a secret clearance? I did a video that you can see on the channel that goes in detail about this. What is necessary to pass a secret clearance? But I can tell you, you're going to have to make sure your criminal record's clean, no DUIs, no domestic violence, and you don't have to be debt free, but you can't have any liens against you. You can't have financial judgments against you. Okay, that's part of it as well. But you can watch the video and get more information on your secret clearance. Can you pass drug exams? Okay, can you pass a drug test? So that's going to be needed for the secret clearance. Last part to think about is going to be, can you pass the physical examination to go work overseas? And that physical examination will be rigorous. It is going to look at your cardiovascular system, range of motion. It's going to look at your heart, blood pressure, okay, all that. It's going to look at your ears and eyes for make sure that you're able to go overseas and work. And it's very similar to joining the military. All right, they are. There'll be psychological evaluations. All of that will be done. You'll have it done twice. You'll have it done once where you live, and then when you go to contractor training, you'll have it all done again. The entire process will be done a second time with all the medical checks and everything. So think about if you can pass the physical examination. If you have any questions about the physical examination, I did a video on that. That goes into complete detail of everything you're going to be looked at on that physical examination. Okay? So, during this video, we went over where you might want to work, why do you want to work there, how are you going to get the job, okay? Can you pass the special requirements? And these are the things to think about to get started. If you go through these lists and you have your notepad and you're looking at it and you're like, I'm good to go on this, my recommendation is to start applying. Put a resume together and start applying, because there's really good jobs out there. And you should definitely go fill one of them and make some good money overseas, okay? So again, look at your notes. If it looks good to you and you're like, yeah, I've got positive marks here on this list, then I think you should apply, okay? And start looking at jobs. And I wish the best of luck to you. I hope this has been helpful. And if there's anything else that you'd like me to cover, put it down in the comment section. Let me know. And other than that, have yourself a very nice day.